Hey guys, Grobs here again with another video. It's been a while. If you guys are watching me again after all this time, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. I'm pretty ready to get into Scourge League, and I've got my first build planned, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I've been asked what I'm gonna do on stream a little bit. So I don't know if you have or haven't seen, but there's a build or a skill coming out called Poisonous Concoction. It's pretty cool. It looks like Explosive Concoction, but it's obviously poison based, and my niche has always been a bit of building into poison. So I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like. If you look in the background here, it's obviously pretty cool green explosions. So how it works is it scales flat chaos damage and consumes life flasks to make it stronger. Now we found out a little bit of info in the last few days, like of Ziggy D, that it doesn't that it scales up to 9%. A bit better than we thought it was going to be, but it doesn't scale up to like as much as you can scale life flask. It's only like a max percent. Off the base of the life flask, so that part's not so great, but it still looks like with the numbers we're going to get, it's going to be pretty insane, or I think it's going to be pretty insane. So I've put together on stream tonight a bit of a starter build for people to use as a template. Now before we go over this completely, it won't be too long, but I just want to make sure you guys are aware. I know that I'm overcapped on mana. I know that I'm wearing some funky things. I know that I've got a bajillion skills in here that aren't all going to work together. I'm not using all this stuff. I'm more focusing on the skill tree. Just want to show you guys what I think is going to work really well as a starter. I haven't even put in like jewels or cluster jewels because we don't know what they're changing on some of them yet. I haven't put in any cool like legion jewels or whatever. This is basic. This is just the skill tree and the masteries because they're the new things this league, right? So what I've planned to do is play Pathfinder. Reason being is I want the proliferation, and I obviously always want life flasks up. It's just quality of life on a Pathfinder has always been awesome. So I would grab Master Toxicist first. Just makes us do awesome prolif. Clear is going to be really nice, which generally speaking for skills like Explosive Concoction, the clear wasn't so great. You can't make them chain or fork. They're ground-based explosives, just so you guys know, or projectiles, I should say. I'm just going to grab this for the AoE, more chaos damage, which is huge. It is an attack skill, so it just gives us a lot of damage. Nature's Boon is huge for defense and for quality of life with flasks. Master Alchemist is awesome for defense. I'm not sure whether I'm going to grab that to be pretty much immune to ailments because we always have flask stuff, or whether I'm going to grab Nature's Adrenaline. Leave that up to you guys. I'll probably end up going for this because I like a more squishy approach. I've tried to make this starter version tanky-ish. My builds are never base tank builds. I like doing a lot of damage and moving fairly quick. This is kind of in between for me. I've kind of gone a little bit the other way for the first time. So, obviously Ranger, Pathfinder. So I've grabbed as much life as I can get on the tree for now, 193. I know I'm at level 100. Obviously drop what you guys think you need. Just use this as a guide. I've grabbed pretty much every multi-node on the tree, as you can see here. Sorry, poisons here, poisons here, whatever. The masteries are incredible. Like the poisons you inflict on non-poison enemies deal 300% increased damage. Doesn't sound that good, but when it proliferates, it's going to be pretty nice. It's just doing all this extra damage that we don't have to deal with. You might have seen I grabbed this claw mastery node here. The reason I grabbed it is we do get a little bit of multi, but the mastery itself doesn't actually apply to just using claws. We actually get this enemies poisoned by you cannot deal crits. So that's a huge defensive mechanism, whether we can see it or not. Other than that, I've built spell suppression. So for those of you that do know what spell suppression is, that's good. For those of you that don't know how it works is whatever chance it is when it rolls. So for us, it's every time we get hit by a spell, we take 50% less damage. We don't take the full spell damage. And then I've actually grabbed a few nodes, like here, 2% prevented extra, and then 3% here. So we actually only take 45% spell damage. If you want to, you can still go for the dodge version. Click acrobatics here, and you're going to end up around 69% spell dodge. If that's what you'd rather play, that's cool. I just want to test this out, see how it feels. We might feel it's more consistent if you're not going to get one hit. I know my life is low. Like I said, guys, I've got some weird gear on here. The only thing I'm probably actually going to run out of this is the Mist Wall. It's just good synergy with dodgy evasion-y builds. Gives us max block if we haven't been hit, and we don't get hit that often. So it's just like an extra layer of defense. Feel free to run whatever shield you can, bearing in mind we can't run a weapon because Poison Concoction is an unarmed skill, but we can run a shield. I've just put in some generic evasion stuff because we want to get as much evasion as we can. Carcass Jack, once again, probably not the endgame chest I'm going to use, but it's nice for AoEs. Now, on the topic of AoE, the reason we want AoE and more projectiles is because poison concoction can overlap, or shotgunning as we know it in PoE. What that means is if one mob gets hit by multiple concoctions, it stacks multiple layers of poison on them, and that can essentially happen. I'm not going to go into that too much, but that's why I think the skills are going to be pretty insane. Pretty much generic life and evasion, grabbing all the multi here. I've actually grabbed Magebane as well, just because it gives us quite a bit of suppression for a trade-off. We'll lose a little bit of evasion, but we're still at a pretty high evade chance, and it puts us at cap spell suppression. I've stretched here to the Wheel of Life from Scion just to get some more life. Whether it's necessary or not, we'll wait and see. That's pretty much it, guys. It's pretty stock standard. Back to the gear for a second. These Circle of Nostalgias, I was just putting them in it to see how much damage we can push with some pure damage rings, really. The Impressions is always just nice for the spare not costing anything. I don't know if I'm going to run it. This is just for some extra spell dodge, which only actually helps really if you're going to go for acrobatics. Otherwise, you might as well run something else. For those of you that want to try this yourself, this is a bit of a scuffed way to test poison concoction. You got to make a jewel similar to this, which is the stats it will have from what we know right now that was leaked at level 20 with a good flask, like a saturated flask, which is the biggest base. This will help. Just put a level 1 explosive concoction here. I haven't even played around with all the supports yet, but it is essentially supporting the jewel, not explosive concoction. So give that a go. Once again, this is a basic template video. Of the next few days, I'll be min-maxing or more min-maxing from what we can this build. Stay tuned for the progress. I'll be playing this as a league starter, and I'll be adding all the things to make it extra juicy, extra pumper. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Don't flame me for the scuffed mana reservation, because I know some of you might want to do that. Thanks heaps, guys. Click subscribe, click like. Love you.